Discipline is the highest form of self-love. That's what today's video is about. We're going to dive right in because a lot of people don't realize the essence of this, the truth of this. That when you focus on your standards, when you focus on your integrity, when you focus on the workouts, when you're dialed in on nutrition, what's happening? You're sacrificing short-term pleasures for salvation. You're sacrificing short-term mouth pleasures, short-term whatever pleasures for something greater. And this is you increasing your awareness, because how many times have you gone down the path where, let's say you binge food, let's say you just went down the wrong path and you messed up and you went off your standards. How do you feel? Was that deal with the devil worth it, man? It never is. It never is, bro. So when it comes to sacred discipline, talked about this before in this company, but it's really just a deep standard within your heart. It's a covenant between you and God. You know, I talked to actually this girl recently who says she got this from God. And it's really important to talk to women about their prayers, about like what they receive from God, because they can really help you. They can really enhance you as a man, right? Like Eve helped Adam, or maybe not, but you know what I mean? But what she said was really interesting. She said that she got something where obedience plus grace equals glory. She's like, I got this from God for the men of God. Obedience. So what happens if you're not obedient to your highest self? Guys, it will get more and more and more painful. You know what the most painful thing in the world is? At the end of your life, dude, at the end of your fucking life, you look back and you're like, holy shit, I could have been great. I should have achieved this and I didn't. Why not? Because you chose short-term pleasures for that. You chose the flesh. And as hedonism, man, here's the truth. If you get anything from this video, here's the truth. In order to be as disciplined as possible with your workouts, with your nutrition, with everything that you're doing within this program, you have to realize that if you don't, your heart breaks. That covenant with God completely shatters. So once you know that no short-term pleasure will ever bring you the peace that you're looking for, then you won't be chasing it anymore. And the only way for you not to be chasing it anymore is what? Is to have a North Star, is to have a mission. You know, if I didn't have a mission, if I didn't have you guys to talk to, if I didn't have people that I was meant to lead, I would be binging food, I would be chasing women, I would be doing all these things. Why wouldn't a man do that? Of course he would. Because what else are you supposed to be doing? Your life is so boring, you need some sort of stimulation. Make your life a movie. Like, seriously. Your movie starts now. Your movie starts tomorrow morning. You wake up and you put on some like intense music. You go to the gym. Like, this is your montage moment, dude. Build a body, dial in the nutrition. And you know what's beautiful? You fall in love with that process every single day. You fall in love with that process of working out, of breaking down the muscle every single day in the gym. What happens? You look in the mirror one day and you're like, holy shit. Because guess what? You weren't chasing the reflection, bro. You see that difference? You weren't chasing the reflection. That's what everyone's doing, dude. Everyone's chasing the reflection, saying, you know, I want the validation. I want the body. Why do you want the body? Because I want to feel confident. That's why I hear that all the time. I want to feel confident. I'm like, it's the opposite. It's like putting on a glove. And here's the awakening happening in Paladin, right? When you put on a glove and it doesn't fit anymore, what happens? You got to change the fucking glove, man. Right? You got to change the glove. You're like, this isn't working. You need a bigger glove, or you need a better glove, a better made glove. What happens is you guys are walking around in bodies that are your glove that you're complacent with. They're saying, no, I want to be confident, I want to be this. It's like, dude, like, you need to be like almost transgender, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, You know, like the transgender, like, all right, I don't want to be a woman, like, you know, I'm a woman in a man's body. Like, dude, be transgender with your fitness. Maybe that's what there should be called. But you got to raise the fucking standard, dude, and you got to get angry. Anger is part of the Paladin method for a reason. You got to get really pissed off. And you'll see this in this program if you guys just joined. You use your trauma in the gym. You use it as this conduit. But what's so beautiful, man, is once you fall in love with the process, it's easy. That's the Paladin method. You fall in love with the process. That's it. Because then at the end of the day, bro, at the end of those 90 days, 120 days, you look in the mirror and you're ripped. You're in the best shape of your life. You're dialed in. But it doesn't matter how you look, because there's a lot of guys who look really good but feel like shit. You don't only look good, but you're natural, you're healthy, you're sleeping well, your testosterone's really high, your wife is respecting you more, your boss is respecting you more, you're getting more opportunities, and most importantly, you're serving the world more. You are a conduit for the Holy Spirit, bro. You have to understand, like, you are the Ark of the Covenant. Your body is. And you disrespecting that every single day with the bad food and the bullshit, like, get angry, man. My main role here is simply to increase your awareness. That's it. Because if we took psilocybin together, you would, you know what I mean? You would find out all these things. We're not going to do that right now. So we have to just kind of increase the awareness somehow. That's all it is. It's waking up in the dream, bro. Waking up and stop going through the motions, man. Your body is not on point. It is unacceptable. Period. End of story for a man to be out of shape. Period. I don't care about the excuses, dude. And I say this to motivate you, and it's going to polarize people. Some people be like, oh my God, the fat acceptance movement, man, everyone's beautiful, everyone's beautiful. Well, no one's saying that, man. If there's a war here in America, who will be on the front lines? The men who are strong, the men who are leaders, the men who have been training. Do you respect those men more or the men who are overweight and not taking care of themselves? Let's be real. Let's be real. You got to earn your keep as a man. That's what you got to do. God has a lot of blessings for you. Let's wrap it up here. God has a lot of blessings for you, okay? But in order for you to fully receive those blessings, you have to become the man who's able to hold them. I'll see you next time.